you fish? No. You know, people who don't fish think that fishing is lazy or boring, but it is the complete opposite. There are 100 little decisions to be made, variables to be considered, and you're never quite sure what made the difference. Did I cast too high, too far to the left? Did I reel it in too slow or too fast? Is the lure too shiny or too dull? Do I stay here or should I go over there? And you know it's not luck, but you do not know by how much. Because I am never disappointed out here, because I don't expect anything, because anything is possible. I can be hopeful out here, even in failure. Because I know if I just go out there around that tree, it might be different. Something might be different. Something I do might make a difference.
Hell yeah! Angler's choice, baby! Johnny Moore's, White River, Ranger, Triton, Nitro. Let's go, baby! Woo!
What the hell is even that?
You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your host, Thomas Ahrens. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by Jake's Bait and Tackle, located in Winchester, Virginia.
If that doesn't get you jacked up, I don't know what will.
Good evening tonight, everybody. Sorry I look like I've been beat to shit. I just got done with it felt like a 9-hour class for my work. It's a Scrum class. No, it's not like a misdemeanor or anything. It's just I had the option to take some classes for free, and I decided to sign up for one like a good little employee to become a Scrum Master. So did that, feel exhausted, but I was also working the last couple of days finishing out everything for the next tournament that we're going to be doing for Fishing the DMV's Patreon members. So this is going out everywhere. It's going to be reposted to the Patreon app and then also our private membership as well. And then this will be taken down everywhere else except there. So I just want to make sure, all right, leave me a chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Just type ... if the chat's working okay before I get started here. All right. Anybody out there comment if you can hear me okay before I start rambling like an idiot. All right. ... Thank God. Cool. Perfect. And again, guys, this is not like the tournament meeting before it starts. I'll do another one next week. I just know with the way this tournament is starting during the holidays, people might already be out of town doing things, so I wanted to get this out a little bit quicker. This one's kind of cool. I like winter fishing. I like how peaceful it is out there. You really have the water to yourself. Fishing is not necessarily like the summer where you're going to catch 400 fish, but you can catch some absolute tanks and have some really nice days on the water. We did a couple of polls specifically, and so we'll kind of get into that stuff, the tournament rules, all that other stuff, and the payouts, answer some of your questions, and then we'll get out of here. The tournament is now up on the thing. Let me get my Patreon app up here. All right, cool. So one of the big questions I had was about if we would limit the Susquehanna River. What we decided to do is, based on the polling, because I wanted to leave it up to you guys as I am BSing as I try to get to the poll. Okay, cool. So, poll on Patreon. It says 30 votes happened. 30 people wanted to limit the Susquehanna River. 23% did not want to limit the Susquehanna River. And 47 people said they just didn't give a shit. And so, with logistics in mind and just the effort on my end, this tournament, we're not going to limit the Susquehanna River because so many people just didn't care. And there's a couple of parts of this. One is I have a bunch of Patreon members that do live in the Susquehanna area. Two is the best way to handle this would be to have multiple tiers. So it would be by region. We would have 2 or 3 people, the top 3 anglers from Pennsylvania, top 3 anglers from Maryland, top 3 anglers from Virginia, and then you have an overall winner. That would be, in my mind, the absolute perfect world. The problem is with that is it'd be an absolute metric shit ton of money. And this little podcast is not pumping out that kind of stuff. So the last tournament, I was in the red a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. So doing that is something I'm going to do eventually. Probably this next year, we'll do a tournament like that, the striated. But I think I came up with a nice, happy medium that should work for everybody. So without further ado, we can kind of get into it here. But yeah, so there is no kind of limitations when it comes to water this time. But I did juggle some things around based on the feedback. And yeah, this is something you guys don't like. We can make adjustments the next time going forward. Let me share the window. All right, actually, let's just do entire screen. Boom. All right, here we go. So this is the tournament rules and information. This and the waiver form are going to be on Tourney X. I sent everybody a link on the Patreon app, so I'll be letting people know on the private Facebook group as well about this. But there's a waiver form this time. It's just called Covering Thy Ass. So if you guys go out there with a few too many Vacatinis and you try to kayak in 30-degree water, I'm not in trouble for you trying to win a Darwin Award. Sadly, I will not be giving out Darwin Awards this year, though it would have been absolutely funny, but my wife said that's a little dark if I did that. So, Fishing the Denver rules. Tournament is going to start Black Friday, baby. While our wives, girlfriends, significant others are going out there shopping and spending our money, we can go fishing. So it's going to start Black Friday, 7 a.m. That's when Safe Flight is roughly. The code will be dropped, I think it's like at 5 a.m., something like that. And then it's going to end December 28th at midnight. The reason we're going to do that is I kicked it off a day is I haven't talked to Jake's Bait and Tackle yet, but they love me. They love me. They'll be fine. We're going to do an award ceremony in person at Jake's Bait and Tackle. That way, we can spend some money. We can talk. I'm going to try to see if I can get a grill. We can cook up some food. Just talk shop. So right now, it's going to be around 4-ish, I'm thinking, at Jake's Bait and Tackle. Sunday, December 29th will be the award ceremony. That way you can kind of get all your prizes and everything like that. And we'll do a little bit of a meet and greet as well. I might think about doing a brewery, but right now it's probably just going to be Jake's, unless I could find a brewery that makes sense. It's a little bit more logistically sound. But since it's right off of 81 and 7, it kind of makes it kind of nice. But anyway, that's my thought. Okay, this is the biggest thing here. It's going to be, this time it's going to be $45. There is another tournament that I'm going to do on New Year's Day that will be, I think I said $8. It's going to be an $8 tournament. It's going to be big fish winner. You can't look at the scoreboard. Just New Year's Day. And that's a little thank you to the Patreon members. You guys can all sign up for it. I remember talking to my wife about this. We're going to have 3 winners from it. It's going to be biggest fish, overall winner, and then the first person to actually submit a keeper bass on New Year's Day. So that way everyone can break their 2025 cherry. First person to submit a bass wins a prize, biggest fish, and of course the overall person. And it'll be like an $8 entry fee. This is just to say thank you guys. So that'd be a fun little tournament. But $45 is kind of important for the setup I'm going to do. $8, my God. 8 fish. So the thing I like about having a bunch of fish on a month or 2-month tournament is it kind of just wears down, I think, your statistical average, in my opinion. So you really got to grind. I know some guys are really, really good at fishing, and they can go out one day, catch all their fish, and they're just done. I liked having a little bit bigger of a limit personally, but some people say, like, just dial it back a little bit. I thought 8 was almost half of that. So winter is tough. This is going to be tough, but in some parts of the country right now, Shenandoah River, Upper Potomac, the fishing is still not bad. And it's going to get better as we get closer to Christmas. And you're going to have a couple of days you're going to get out in the water, and it's going to be stacked. You look at what's going on down at like Lake Mooney, Occoquan Reservoir, like the fishing is going to get better going towards Christmas. I think there's going to be a couple week window there. So I think 8's a nice little happy medium. And then it's going to be largemouth and smallmouth. Measuring boards. If you could get a fancy board, I would really appreciate that because it makes it easier for me to make calls on the size of your fish. Kitech, hog trough, kayak gear, yak attack, just something like that. You guys know about this. This is more about what the tournament format is. We'll do a rules thing later on. Please keep the mouth shut. If there's like 1/10 of a centimeter open, I'm not going to be an asshole about it. But if it's like the whole mouth is open on the board, it's like, come on, what are we going to do there? You're allowed to fish artificial lures, boat, kayak, canoe, yak, pontoon, from the bank, do not care, anywhere counts. Biggest thing for the rules I have coming up here, and we're going to be going over the payout structure and the twist that I did. You need to make sure your verification is on the phone so I can tell what body of water you're from. And tiebreakers. First tiebreaker will be the largest fish by length. Second would be tiebreaker, second largest fish by length. Most submitted, and then we'll just coin flip if you're tied that much more. Integrity, compliance, we can talk about that. Okay, payouts and prizes. All right, this is the fun part. So, this is what we're doing for prizes. And I'm very excited about this. So, this is baseline. Regardless of how many people sign up, this is what we're doing. $400 to the overall winner, plus you're going to get a ribbon or a trophy. Okay? Second place is going to be $200 plus a ribbon and a trophy. $100 for third place, winner and a trophy, or trophy. You're going to get a prize from Jake's Bait and Tackle, prize from Tiger Crankbaits, plus a ribbon and a trophy there for fourth and fifth. Now, Big Fish Awards. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have a overall Pennsylvania, basically the Susquehanna Big Fish. That's going to be $100. We're going to have an overall Maryland largest smallmouth. Okay? That's going to be that. We're going to have a Virginia. So if you guys are confused about like, okay, where is this water-wise? This is basically the Susquehanna River. Upper Potomac is going to count as that. And then you're going to have the Shenandoah, the James River, things like that. So Virginia, Pennsylvania watershed, and a Maryland watershed for big fish. And then because we got 3 smallmouth here, I'm going to throw in 2 largemouth, your first and second biggest largemouth. Now, if we are able to get over 40 people to sign up, which we damn near came close to last time, this is how we're going to break out down the prices. We're still going to do $400 plus a ribbon or a trophy for first. Second place is going to get $200 plus a ribbon or a trophy. I'm still working that out to see because I got some really nice ribbons made up that will hopefully be ready here in the next couple of weeks, but they're a little bit more expensive than I thought they would. So I'm trying to look for a better deal, but we're going to have ribbons and trophies or trophies for all these people. But here's the piggy. If we get 40 people to sign up for this event, we're going to have a 1 and 2 top 2 largest smallmouth for the Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. 1 and 2 biggest smallmouth for the Upper Potomac. 2 smallmouth for the Virginia watersheds, which is probably the Shenandoah, James River, River, a lot of that. And then we're going to have 3 largemouth. I'm going to increase the prize to 120. Now, that is not all. If I get my Christmas miracle and have the greatest blow up ever, and we get 60, and I'm going to cap it at 60. I'm not going to go past 60 because that's just going to get too crazy for me to try to do all these uploading during the holidays. We're going to jump this thing up to $800 for the winner, plus a ribbon or a trophy, depending on what I can get a hold of cheap. $250, $200, Jake's Bait and Tackle and Tiger Crankbaits prizes. Of course, ribbon and trophy here. And then what we're going to do is $150 per Big Fish Award. Per Big Fish Award. So that's why it's so important for you to turn on the location when you're submitting the fish, so I can tell. Susquehanna fish in general, you can just tell they look different than a lot of them. Largemouth, you're like, oh, why do you not care about that? Because honestly, you can catch a big largemouth pretty much anywhere. Susquehanna River smallmouth generally are a little bit bigger, generally speaking. But this way, we're leveling the playing field here, and I can actually afford this a lot more. Once I get, hopefully, unless if you guys know some sponsors, if we get some sponsors here in 2025, which I'm actually going to try to do, and just instead of just making content, look for sponsors. If I get some sponsors on, we're going to break this down to different regions, and that way you have an overall and different regional winners. So I think that's the fairest thing we can do for these type of tournaments. But again, so even if we get 5 people to sign up, this is what we're going to do. 5 people to sign up, baseline. And then 40, $120 per big fish, and then 60, it's just going to be an absolute windfall for everybody. And basically looking at Tourney X, I'm like the only person, one of the few running a winter tournament. So fingers crossed that this happens. I am opening this up for question. Let's see. We got Big D on Instagram says Doa Smalley on top. Yeah, I thought I understand what people were saying about like the thing there with the Susquehanna, but I wanted to make it kind of fair because, again, like the Big Fish Award for the smallmouth was the Upper Potomac last time. And it was just going to be too much of a logistical nightmare for me to try to separate it out. And I didn't have the financial means to make it worth everyone's while. So if the Susquehanna wins again, or there's an issue like that where it's really striated, we'll take a look at it. But it comes down to money. And I want to make sure everyone gets bang for their buck. But I think but being the wintertime too, it's more of a big fish hunt. And so I really wanted to kind of promote catching big fish because that's what the wintertime is about, and catching big old brown footballs the way God intended. That's a great Christmas present. And some big green ones. So let's see, double check to see if there's anything else. Yeah, Big D. Yep. So that's available to you now. Perfect. All right, cool. So that's what we're going to be doing there with that. Do we have any questions? I told you guys it's only going to be about 30 minutes. Just to kind of make sure everyone got the idea for this. If you are not a Patreon member, head on over to Fishing the DMV's Patreon. You can go sign up for this and you can kind of get involved in it. So I won't be putting the passcode because there's a passcode. That's why you have to be a Patreon member. There's a passcode I'm going to give you, and then you can sign up for the event. I'm not going to put it on the private Facebook group. I'm not going to put the code on the private Facebook group because I think there's one or two people on the Facebook group that are free members, I think. I got to check that. But I'm going to do updates for the tournament. When we get closer to New Year's Day, I will let you guys know about that one. That one was just kind of a fun, like, let's get people out there and fish, especially if the weather's nice. I mean, dude, it's going to be $8. It's just enough to cover the Eternity X, like, fee. I just thought it'd be a fun little, it's New Year's Day. Who doesn't want to catch their first bass on the first day of the week? So let's just do something like kind of fun with that. I thought it'd be kind of cool. Yeah, okay. Cliff, don't panic. 99.9% of the phones have the location automatically turned on. And I know you basically only fish one body of water indefinitely. But sometimes when you update your phone and you go to the app, it might ask you to like, oh, can this have your location? Just click yes. If anyone has a problem with this during the tournament, I will let them know. I am not a dick about this stuff. And I can let you know if there's an issue with that. Okay, Chris Sherwood, this is going to be fire. Yeah, absolutely. Cooper, Aaron, what up, man? What up, boss? So guys, the biggest thing with this, with the awards, trying to take a little bit from like the big fish tournament in the Susquehanna where we have multiple big fish winners. I think that's fun to incentivize that, especially this time of year. Want to have an overall winner for the new people that just popped on. Head on over there. And we got Cliff again. I'll do better with keeping their mouth closed. Yeah, and then again, guys, like people ask like why I had such a small penalty for the mouth closed. Out of all the things, like that half an inch is not something I was going to dock people their first tournament. Like half the people that I have fishing this event were from a boat or a jet boat. It's their first time. I'm not going to beat them over the head with every asinine, tiny little rule that is kayak fishing. I just dock them, a very small amount, but I'm not going to like ruin it because a lot of times it doesn't come down to that. If there is an issue with that again, I will choose judgment there. Biggest thing with this event, I highly encourage is there is a waiver form. It just says if I go out butt naked on a kayak in December and I die, it's not fishing the DMV's fault. We do not condone that. It sounds like a great story, but we do not condone that. So please wear proper gear when you go out there. Survival suit is really nice if you're in a kayak. Personally, that's something I want to get for the boat for me. Or I fish a lot more from my boat in the wintertime because I have one, let's be real, versus a kayak. But I might use a survival suit even in a boat, just if I'm fishing alone. But yeah, please do that. Again, Jake's Bait and Tackle is going to be the location for that. Shane Flint, that would be great content. Yeah, I know, boss. No, it would be great content. It would be an adult-only page, but it would be insane content if you went skinny dipping. But yeah, again, guys, this is a fun little thank you guys to everything that you do, and it's the Christmas time. It's a fun time of year. It's my favorite time to go out there and fish. And since we live in such a smallmouth place, I really like to put that kind of smallmouth fever on there. Carly says what? December 29th. Oh, the day after. Yeah, I don't want to report your comment, but we're not going to mention that. If people see that, that's fine. People don't need to know when my birthday is. Cliff, take a picture and look at the details in the photo. It should tell you where it was taken. Yeah. Basically, I can just look on the map and then I scroll out. It's not that for people that have always worried about this, it's not like it's giving GPS coordinates to your fishing spot. It just tells me that, oh, you caught it from a golf course or it's Lake Anna. And that's all I'm looking for. It's just like, yep, that is a Susquehanna smallmouth. Cool. That's what that applies to. Another question is asked, Tom, I live in the Shenandoah Valley. Can I fish the Shenandoah Valley and the Susquehanna River? Yes, you can. That would be your overall points. I don't care. Could you, in theory, catch the biggest fish of the Susquehanna and the Shenandoah? Yeah, probably you could do that. So the bigger thing here, if I was a competitor, is largemouth wise, just to give the largemouth guys love. If we get the 60 signups, we get 3 big fish for $150 each. You, in theory, could go to Mooney and catch all 3 and pocket a shit ton of money. You know, I don't have any rule about that because I just don't want to enforce it and I just don't care. So this will be a fun tournament, and then more to come on the New Year's Day event as we get a little bit closer. I'll mention that at the meetup. If you guys don't want to do Jake's Bait and Tackle, you guys would rather do a bar somewhere or someplace like that that's more centrally located, you know, let me know on Patreon. Let me know in the comment section, and we'll get that going. And then I think what else? We'll make this announcement. So if you guys don't know, I got the contract to run the social media for the Richmond Fishing Expo and the Raleigh Fishing Show down in North Carolina. So Fishing the DMV will have a booth at the Raleigh Fishing Expo running the social media for that expo. Plus we'll be doing our booth to booth walk. And then the Richmond Expo, Jake's Bait and Tackle, I think has like 7 booths on that one side where the casting kids are. And then we're on the corner like we always are. So back-to-back weekends in January are going to be insane. March, we are not going to have a fishing tournament at all. So we can gear up for the big thing that I wanted to do. I'm hopefully going to get some people to collab with me on that, which will be the battle of the Shenandoah versus the Upper Potomac, which is the better smallmouth river, those teams. That will be the next super duper big event. And then we're going to be doing a January/February combo event. So it'll be a 2-month event in the dog days of winter that you can sign up for and you can get out there and fish. So, but again, more to come on that. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a generic update. If you're not a Patreon member, go head on over to Patreon right now and sign up. We have a lot of great content, fishing tournament stuff, strategies. And then of course, after every single tournament I fish in 2025, I'm gonna be fishing a shit ton. I do a full breakdown just for you guys. And a load of other crap is coming down the pike. If you guys do not have any questions for me, I'm going to give it about 5 seconds to check to see if I got any questions, and then we're gonna call it. Let me check on the old Instagram. And then Carly, the problem with Instagram, Carly, is again I can't share your comments, so it doesn't matter. McCluskey says I know where I'm going. Oh wow, ooh, I wonder where he's going. Name the place that he is going. Do you like doing this tournament thing? So it is, McCluskey is joining late. I'm going to, how do I share my screen again? So, McNugget, you need a Kitech board. You need something like that. Okay. Make sure you got something like that. It is going to be, if I can find the rules that I wrote. It's your best 8 fish. Your best 8 fish, largemouth or smallmouth. Your best 8. You use a Kitech board or a measuring board. You take a photo, you upload it to the app. Best 8. And then big fish wise, our base payout, regardless of how many people we sign up, we're going to have 2 largemouth green ones that you can catch. Your 2. So the biggest overall, the second biggest, blah, blah, blah. And then if we go down to the very bottom, if I get 60 signups, that way my wife does not kill me by mortgaging the house. If we get 60 signups, we're going to do 3 largest largemouth, and then we're going to do 2 smallmouth per state, 2 for Virginia, 2 for Maryland, 2 for Pennsylvania. And this will be $150 if we get 60. So just think about that. Cooper says, where is the Raleigh and when? I should know that. Well, I know it's in North Carolina. It's in North Carolina. I should know when it is. I have it up here on my cheat sheet. That is Thursday. well, that's when I'm leaving. That is Friday, January 10th through Sunday, January 12th. And then in 3 days, I leave for the Richmond Fishing Show, which is Friday, January 17th through the 19th, which is a Sunday. So, yep, that's going to be insanely good. And then I'm trying to figure out, I need a new truck and I need to get a new boat. I got so much crap going on. It's insane. Again, guys, this is kind of a fun tournament, just to kind of keep people fishing. And then as we get closer, we'll talk about the New Year's Day tournament. That's the one I'm really excited about. Again, New Year's tournament. The first person to put a fish on the board on New Year's Day, the first person to catch a fish in 2025, automatically wins some money, and then the most fish caught, and then the biggest smallmouth and largemouth. But that's going to be coming to you later on. So anyway, that's all I got here. Let me check on Instagram, since everyone likes to talk on Instagram, even though I cannot share the comments. Best five or big fish, both. New OnlyFans idea. Anything to afford a new truck. No, I want a new rig. That's a huge difference. That's why people on Instagram are talking about me starting an OnlyFans. I need a new rig badly. I got a bad motor on my Ranger, but I got to talk to the wife about that. Right now, I need a truck. The problem is getting a truck right now is more expensive than getting a used bass boat, which is asinine. But it's like between 30 to 40,000. It seems like for a truck, generally speaking, where you can buy a bass boat a little bit cheaper. But yeah, I have this. There's this one Ranger I've been looking at used online. It's been like my screensaver at work. It's still available to buy, but it's a 522 2013. The perfect haul. It's the haul I've always loved. I love that Ranger 522. But as long as it's not for sale, I'm just gonna. We'll talk about that. Anyway, I'm gonna ramble like an idiot. You guys don't want to hear me ramble like an idiot. That's not good. That's not good content. We had a great episode with Timmy last night, and then we have a new episode launching on Thursday. I'm probably gonna re-upload this tomorrow, maybe, if you guys want it. Otherwise, the next episode of Fishing the DMV launches next week. We'll have 2 episodes next week. Episode Thursday morning. Then 2 episodes next week. And then we're going to have a big episode for our 300th anniversary. This Thursday's episode is actually the 300th episode of the Fishing the DMV podcast in less than 3 years, because in 2 weeks is the Fishing the DMV's 3-year anniversary. So we'll do some kind of thing special for that as well. We'll figure that out too. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Guys, enjoy your life, your loved ones. See you later. Bye.
You're listening to Fishing the DMV with your hosts, Thomas Ahrens and Jared Mounts. Fishing the DMV is brought to you by